Well, hi, everybody. Hope that your week is off to a great start. Obviously, this coming week, we're still joyfully celebrating the great 50-day Sunday of the season of Easter. And as we look forward to this coming week, lots of great things going on. And as we look forward to the week after that, more great things going on. So let's take them one at a time. For this coming weekend, we're really happy that two of our participants in the RCIA process, the Rite of Christian Initiation of Adults, will be making their profession of faith at the 5 o'clock Mass on Saturday, thereby becoming full and complete members of our Catholic community here at St. Anne. So please do keep them in your prayer as the powerful Spirit of God will take another new opportunity to work in their hearts and spirits, and as we welcome them into full communion with us in the Catholic Church here at St. Anne. And then at the 11:30 Mass, we'll be welcoming one of our youngest disciples in the sacrament of baptism. And also at all of the Masses this coming weekend, we'll be participating in the annual Archdiocesan Mass Count exercise. We'll explain it during Mass, but it's really pretty simple. We'll have cards in the pews. We will ask you to anonymously indicate for those people who are present at that Mass what your gender is, what your age is, and what your cultural identifier is. It provides simply an annual snapshot of attendance and demographics in parishes throughout the Archdiocese. So it's pretty simple to do, and we'll do that exercise at each Mass this weekend. Also at each Mass this weekend, after communion, a representative from our Haiti team, part of our Parish Outreach Commission, will be encouraging us briefly to come across the finish line, as it were. We have about a week and a half left for our Littlest Angels hot meal program to reach our very ambitious goal. Every year we've been able to do it, and that's been so great to see. I'm confident that this year will be no different, but we're in the final stretch, the final phase now, and we really hope that if you've not yet had a chance to share a sponsorship of at least one child, perhaps even a couple of kids, that would get us across the finish line. And if you've already sponsored a hot meal and would like to do it again, wouldn't that be an additional great blessing to the wonderful young students of our partner parish of St. Clair in Haiti, led so ably and enthusiastically by Father Alexis Robinson. So be prepared for that this weekend. And then after Mass this weekend, members from our youth ministry outreach will be present to take your orders for pretzel sandwiches. You know how much I enjoy pretzel sandwiches. I know so many of you do as well. This pretzel sandwich fundraiser will provide funding for two really important things for our young disciples. One is their participation in this summer's Baltimore Work Camp. Just so you know, it costs about $375 for a participant to experience the tremendous growth and blessing of the Baltimore Work Camp ministry experience. And then another part of the fundraising is directed farther in advance, but this coming November, we'll be looking to send participants to the National Catholic Youth Conference in Indiana, an opportunity for our young disciples and our wonderful team of leaders to interact not only with colleagues here in the Archdiocese of Baltimore, but also to network and to interact with youth ministry participants throughout our country. The National Catholic Youth Conference is always a very inspiring, uplifting, and empowering experience for those who are able to come. And to do so, that costs about $850 per person. So we really want to invest as much as we can in the growth and development and formation of our young disciples. Youth ministry, in youth ministry circles, it's really a common item to note that our youth are not the future of the church. They are the church right here and right now. And we want to invest as much as we can in growing and developing our young disciples who will take on greater responsibility as their lives unfold in all kinds of forms of church ministry. So pretzel sandwiches will help us to send our young folks to Baltimore Work Camp and to National Catholic Youth Conference in November. So look for the youth ministry folks to take your pretzel sandwich order this weekend. So how about that for a full weekend? Well, if that's terrific, and it certainly is, the weekend following is Pentecost weekend, bringing to conclusion the great 50 days of Easter prayer and joy. A couple of things happening that weekend, May 27, 28. At the 5 o'clock Mass, afterwards rather, we'll be having our International Potluck Supper, first time in a couple of years because of COVID. And if you've not yet done so, please let our office know of what food dish, what item you would plan to bring that would be representative of your culture of origin. When we've had these potluck suppers or meals before COVID, great experiences of fellowship, interaction, terrific community building, and of course, a lot of tasty food. So please, if you've not yet done so, help us be a part of our potluck supper on Saturday, right after 5 o'clock Mass, May 27. Then at each of the Masses that weekend, May 27, 28, we will be offering the petitions in the Prayer of the Faithful in as many different languages as possible, so as to reflect the tremendous and wonderful cultural diversity, not only of the human family, but of our faith community right here at St. Anne. And so if you have a language proficiency in addition to English, we would really love to have your help. We'll get the text of the petitions to you well in advance, so you'll have plenty of time to practice and be prepared. Reach out, contact our parish office as soon as you can, and we'll be really grateful to have your help offering our prayers and needs together before the Lord on Pentecost weekend. And also beginning on Pentecost weekend, we will happily be returning to the practice of offering the Blessed Sacrament, the Eucharist, at Mass, both in the form of the Eucharistic body of Christ and in the precious blood of Christ in the chalices available during Mass. We'll be monitoring this as we go along. Of course, we need enough Eucharistic ministers to provide adequate stations. So, but nonetheless, we're happy to be able to offer the precious blood during the distribution of communion moving forward, beginning the weekend of Pentecost weekend, May 27, 28. And of course, that weekend happens to be Memorial Day weekend, where we will hold in our prayer with gratitude all those men and women who have gone before us and sacrificed their lives in generous and loving service to our nation. So this coming weekend, lots of great stuff going on. The following weekend, lots of great stuff going on. And even though we're beginning to smell the hint of summertime getting closer and closer, lots of great things still happening here at St. Anne throughout the spring. And we look forward to you and your household being very much a part of it all. So until then, do take care and God bless.